What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Asian Menswear Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm with my co-host, Leo Chan. What's up, Leo?
What's up, man? It's good to be back.
It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a while. Summertime.
Yeah. I've had some technical difficulties with my Wi-Fi, so we haven't been able to record as many as we wanted, and Leo's been traveling. But yeah, today we're back with another Barbershop Talk, and today's topic is the progression of Asian representation.
Oh, yeah.
As of late, we're going to break down all the films and movies, and then we want to talk about like whether or not those films had a positive impact. And then I think the most important part about this topic is that, yes, we all want positive representation, but at the end of the day, what really matters is how is it doing in the box office? Is it making money? Are people coming out to pay for the specific content? Because if we want more representation, it has to make sense on the business end. Right. You can't just,
for sure.
No one's just going to go out there and say, let me produce this film because of representation. And then I'll put my blood, sweat, and tears. Let me just take a loss on it. No one does that. Maybe there's a few people out there that's, willing to do that, put their $1 million down to lose it, but no one really does that. So we're just going to break down how all the films have done and then just talk a little bit about each film. And then at the end, give our take on how we feel about the progression from the days of Hangover, from the days of Asian actors not being able to get any sort of roles except for these stereotypical ones or the ones that are like not very important. And obviously, I think this is pretty timely because we have Shang-Chi that's releasing actually tonight for a lot of people. So yeah, this is very important, and I think it would be an interesting topic to speak on.
Yeah, for sure. So you want to get us started on a little history?
Yep, yeah, for sure. So I have a list of 5 that's recently released that had an Asian male lead, so to speak. And just for anyone that doesn't know, but this is something that I've learned, which is when someone decides to produce a movie, right, you have the cost of the film. And normally to break even, the movie has to do 1.5 to 2 times the budget to break even because you have to add on advertising, marketing, and then all the other things, right?
Wow.
So just for people to know, because I thought, if the budget was $1 million and they made $1 million, that's pretty good. No, it's not. So that's what I thought originally until I kind of researched it a bit. So, the first film I wanted to talk about was Minari, Stephen Yeun. It's about a Korean immigrant story, just a Korean family coming to the United States to find a better life. And it did really well, had really great ratings. And it cost him $2 million. The budget was $2 million.
Wow.
And at the box office, it came home with almost $16 million.
Oh.
So if we're talking about a movie doing at least 1.5 to 2 times the budget, this is huge success.
Right.
$2 million, you get $16 million back. That's pretty good. And the interesting part about Minari is that people behind Minari is called A24. And they are known to push Asian American films. So again, that's another thing that we want to support, which is production companies that are focused on pushing Asian American stories and all those sort of things. So it kind of makes sense. Yeah, so I've seen it. I know Leo has. For me, it's great to see a story like this, something as simple as an immigrant story. We've had a podcast in the past about it. Yeah. And I love that it was really well made. And on top of that, it produced in the box office.
I mean, it's kind of impressive that they even made that much more in the box office considering it came out during COVID.
Yeah.
So with all the odds kind of stacked against it. And I think we mentioned it in the standalone podcast about this movie. This was great because it was a different kind of immigrant story. It's not like the usual New York City, LA kind of story. Like they were in the middle of the US, right? Like the Western style. Yeah. So I thought like it was very refreshing to see this kind of immigrant story. And I think like the biggest impact of a film like this is obviously getting recognized. It's not just the money, but what they got 6 nominations in the Academy Awards, and then they won the Golden Globe for the best foreign language film. So it's just like getting nominated and being recognized, I think, because when people are watching these award shows, to see such a strong movie with Asian cast, it's like, who are these guys and how did they win? So to me, it's even a bigger impact when they get awards like that stacked against everyone else.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Thank you for throwing down the facts. That's very helpful.
They had 98% Rotten Tomatoes. So,
like, it's
like if you were just a film lover in general, Asian or not, like you gotta appreciate and love the movie, right? Like you gotta appreciate the storytelling and the direction and all that stuff. So I think that's what I really enjoy about it as well.
Yeah. And I've talked about this in the past. If we want things that, representation, we have to be out there to do it ourselves, right? We need to produce these films. We need to push these stories out there. And A24, again, their whole mission has been to bring more diversity to the screen. So they've done that. So congrats to Minari and the team that created it. So that's definitely a huge plus. And I'm sure if a film like this can do so well, they're going to create another one because they literally, 8x the budget, which is great, right? That's
really
anyone
impressive.
looking to invest